about
Right.
before, but you know, how much does your heart go out to him, and could you ever see him getting any playing time this game?
I really can if everybody does what they're supposed to do. You know, I can see him getting some playing time, and I can see it going the other way too. You know, where if there's an injury or something like that, I can see him getting in playing. My heart does go out to him. He's worked really hard to get back, and he finally got himself in form. You know, midway through during the season. But he's a great kid, so you know you love him and you love what he stands for.
How much has he helped, or has he, Brad Kaya develop? Has he been part of it?
Him and Jake,
okay.
Both being veteran guys, they have been part of it, yes.
Jerome Washington signed, so you can talk about him. Did you discover
I
him?
need proof. I'm not doing it.
I'll show you the email.
Okay, no, you're good.
Did you discover him, or he sort of discovered you? Like, did he seek you guys out, or you sought him out? And what do you think of him?
It was a weird deal. You know, he got his highlight tapes released, and you know, one of our recruiting assistants, George, did a great job with seeing it, watching it, and passing it on. And we were the first people on him. Then after that, I know a bunch of other schools came about, but it's all about being first and identifying guys and. You know, but that's how it went out. That's how it went down.
He's just a big athletic kid, it seems like.
He is, yeah. Big kid, just kind of hidden away. It's a remarkable story.
James, obviously, to be without Clive, huge loss for you guys. But what have you seen from Stan as he's kind of taken more, you know, realizing it's going to be up to him a little bit more at that position?
Yeah, he stepped it up. You know, we always talk about changing the game, you know what I mean? You know, when it's your time to go, do you change the game, or are you just in flow with the game? You know, do you change it? And that's the challenge. You know, the next guy who comes in, are you going to change the game when you come in, or are you just going to, you know, do your part just to be one of the 11? And he has. He's worked really hard. And I think in the Pitt game, he had 3 real good, nice catches. And so, you know, Clive was our leading receiver. We're going to miss him. You know, there's no doubt about it. But now it's time, opportunity for other guys to change the game. Coach Ice. Okay, he's good. We gotta go do something.
I guess just how vital is it to have him still be that guy in the middle of the field to, you know, in this bowl game?
Huge. You know, young quarterbacks, they find security blankets into inserting guys that are running routes that they can identify, they can read while they're running them. And Clive was that guy for Brad. But I think Stan's becoming, you know, that guy as well, because they've worked. You know, Stan's really, Clive played a big role in developing Stan. You guys are a sneak question. I see it coming.
Nothing about you, trust me.
I know.
Hey, Stacy Coley all year, just how you guys tried different ways to get him the ball, and when you look at the big picture now, going into next year, how do you try to change things up to get him to be a bigger piece of the offense?
Were you guys out here today or no?
No, we couldn't see it.
Just for a few minutes today.
He's back and forth now.
He is.
Oh man.
I'll tell you what, he's back and forth.
Coley's back and forth. Stacy, that is. He's looking really good. So he just got to play his game, and really, we shouldn't have to fabricate plays for him. Just part of our offense is always an answer for the quarterback, and if he's the answer, it's going to be a big play. So, you know, it's good to see him. Golly, man, just open up and run and catch the ball and break away from guys.
Was it frustrating for you at all as a coordinator this year when you saw, like, you look at his numbers, you say he just crossed the 100-yard receiving mark? Were you like,
it's crazy,
expecting so much more from him, right?
Yeah, everybody was, and I think that's part of it. You know, that's part of that sophomore year sometimes. That you're banged up a little bit because of an off season and didn't go the way you wanted it to go, and then you get an injury, and then you can't get out of that slump that you're in, and you don't feel good, and it plays a factor in your confidence. And you know, with him getting a break, the break that we got towards the end here, I think that helped him out a lot because we haven't stopped. And it's been non-stop.
A couple more questions, guys.
Recruiting-wise,
for him, you know what I mean? I'm not using it as an excuse, but for him, what he had to battle, it's hard.
Recruiting-wise, I guess, I mean, you guys have been busy the last couple weeks, and you can't talk about specific kids, but just how the message. When you go 6-6, it's a little harder than when you go 9-3 like you did last year. How has that sort of been received, and what have you guys been sort of telling, you know, recruits?
Well, I think, you know, just being a part of recruiting period, there's been a lot of 6-6 teams you know, hopefully 7 and 6, you know, that end up having great classes because the kids see the, you know, they see the end sight. They see, hey, they got a great quarterback. You know what I mean? Oh my God, you know, the running backs that are coming in or the running backs that are there are really good. You know, or the kids see, I'm the missing piece. I'm that receiver. I'm that go-to guy. You know, if I do go there, right, I make the difference of 3 or 4 games, which is the case. One play can change your season. We all can go back to any one of our games and say to ourselves, and you guys could too, if this happened on that play, would we have won that game? Would that have affected another game? Would it affect? So who's going to make that play to affect those games? And like I said before, I've been a part of the rebuilding, you know, and it didn't affect recruiting because when you are building a team, you need the pieces and players out there now because of all the stuff that's written, you know, in newspapers and on the internet. They read it now and they follow the recruiting, so they know. Back in the day, you just want to go to a winner. Now they know, where do I fit in and how can I make the difference?
You were a little
Last
fired
question,
up.
guys.
You were a little fired up Saturday night, it seemed, after you watched a movie. What was your reaction to it?
I really can't comment on all that. But what are you gonna do? You know?
Well, what were your thoughts on the movie?
You know, I thought, you know, you are excited. I mean, I love watching those teams play. You know what I mean? To see their comments on stuff. You know what I mean? I mean, that was I love hearing Ed Reed talk. You know, I love watching Andre Johnson score touchdowns. You know, I love that swagger that Al Blade has. You know, it's part of our tradition here. So,
Those guys here now, those leaders, those Al Blades, those
the young guys, and I'm not saying the old guys aren't, but you know, when Chad Thomas comes afterwards after practice to Brad Kaya, and he's like, "How was your side? We're good." You know, and I'm walking away. I'm going, "That's pretty good right there." You know what I mean?
Great.
Okay, guys.
Thank you, Coach.